From the Horn Auto Center Studios, Chris Bennett and the Morning Brew.
Before we start having too much fun this morning, I wanted to take a moment to honor two of our very own firefighters from Timber Mesa Fire Department. We have firefighter paramedic Brenna Kulikowski and firefighter EMT Damon Thompson, who gave their lives in service to our community. And the funeral services for Brenna are today at 10 a.m. at Sholo High School Auditorium. And tomorrow at 10 a.m. at the same location are the funeral services for Damon. Both days, today and tomorrow, a procession will begin at 9:45, and the community is invited to line the route, which will start at Owens Livingston in downtown Sholo and go down the Deuce to the 260 to Old Linden Road, ending at the Sholo Auditorium. And if you would like to make a donation, you can do so at azff.org. All that money will go towards this event, towards Brenna and Damon and their families. So you can donate at azff.org. azff.org. And to Brenna, Damon, and all who serve, we thank you. Our hearts are with their families and the whole Timber Mesa Fire Department.
What's happening, hot stuff?
All right, it's now time to see what's happening in the White Mountains this weekend. There is a lot going on. Tonight at Sholo High School, it's Sholo Homecoming. They are hosting Apache Junction, and that game starts at 7. But probably the most exciting thing for me is yesterday we had Coach Mike Boyce, the head coach of Sholo Cougars, in studio. And last year I challenged one of his players, Dane Rusma, to a 40-yard dash. I had a head start and I lost. Well, this year we're doing it again at 4 o'clock at Sholo football field if you want to come watch me get my butt kicked. But we're going to do 100 yards this time around, but I get to start at the 50. So we'll see if I could beat Dane Rusma with a 50-yard head start and a 100-yard dash. That's going to be at 4 o'clock. Also, the Run to the Pines car show is happening. I love this event, and starting today at 4 p.m. is the Cavalcade of cars. They depart the LDS Church and cruise down to the Honda Resort and Casino. And then the car show is going to be Saturday 8 to 4, and it's a lot of fun. If you've never been, it's at Pinetop Lakes Country Club, and it's free with a canned food donation. And Sunday, they go 8 a.m. to noon. So that's a lot of fun. And also, the Fall Festival is happening. Note, Pinetop, the Fall Festival Parade has been canceled in honor of the fallen firefighters. But these events remain. It's the Fall Artisan Festival, Friday through Sunday at the Orchard at Charlie Clark's. There's also a pumpkin carving demo by Ray Villafane, and live music, and also the White Mountain Symphony Orchestra is having a concert, America the Beautiful, Saturday at Blue Ridge High School. And don't forget, before we head out for a weekend of fun, make sure to take a moment to remember what truly matters. Tomorrow or today and Saturday, we honor our fallen Timber Mesa firefighters. Those processions are going to be starting today, going down the Deuce to the 260 to Old Linden to Sholo Auditorium, starting today at 9:45 a.m. And the services for Brenna are today at 10 a.m. at Sholo High School and tomorrow at 10 a.m. For Damon at the same location. Make sure you line the streets and pay tribute to our heroes. That's what's happening on the White Mountains this weekend.
Chris Bennett's Country Climb, Star of the Week.
Today, we're spotlighting an artist whose sound blends the heart of gospel with the grit of 90s country. He's North Carolina born, now Nashville based. It is Trey Calloway. He's already shared stages with legends like Joe Diffie, Tracy Lawrence, earned Texas Country Music Songwriter of the Year. He's racked up millions of streams. He's had a video featured on CMT and premiered his new music video, Must Have Had a Good Time, on the American Country Network. Please welcome today's Country Climb Star of the Week, Trey Calloway! Woo!
What's up, Chris? How you doing, buddy? Glad to be here.
First, before we get to the nitty-gritty, let's have some fun with some rapid-fire questions.
Sounds good.
What was the first concert you ever attended?
Charlie Daniels Charlie Daniels with Darius Rucker and Trace Atkins. It was at the Grand Ole Opry. Yeah, it was life-changing, man.
How old were you when that happened?
I think I was about 13. Wow. It was when I first started to kind of show some interest in country music. And so my mom and dad took me to Nashville, took me to the Grand Ole Opry. And, man, yeah, Charlie Daniels came out there and wore it out, son. He did. It was cool.
Is there a song you can't help but sing along to every time it comes on?
It's probably Devil Went Down to Georgia. My son, I have a little son, and he's obsessed with that song. So we'll just jam it out in the car. We'll just listen to every word. And then I always, trying to be a good father, I'll always, turn down the bad part at the end. But he knows what they're saying. He knows what they're saying already. That's the one song that I've played and heard a million times, but never really get tired of.
If you had one country song to request for the rest of your life that's not your own, what country song are you requesting and why?
Oh, man. Well, I'd have to say it's probably the song that made me want to become a country singer. It's Much Too Young to Feel This Damn Old by Garth Brooks. I'd say is the one, just because of what it means to me. It was the first country song I remember hearing that made me sit back and go, man, that's what I want to do right there. And I've got so many favorite songs, but because of the sentimental value of that song, I'd have to say that'd be my request.
It's time to find out about your country climb, Trey. How did you get started, and how did music grab a hold of you?
I was raised in a Pentecostal church. My dad was a Pentecostal evangelist when I was growing up, and so I would travel from church to church with him, traveling and out on the road, and I would sing before he would preach his sermons. And so I had the music bug very, very early on, probably 5-6 years old. I knew that I could sing. I didn't play any instruments yet, but around the time 13, 14, I started playing the guitar and wanting to write songs, and wrote some gospel songs. But then I started listening to a little bit of country here and there. And my mom and dad bought me this country gold greatest hits collection that had like Tammy Wynette and George Jones and Merle Haggard and all of the classics. Loretta Lynn. I'm a big Loretta Lynn fan, always have been. So I really got to know the deep roots of country before I got into more of the poppier modern country, and I've loved all of that since. But I've always been a student of all kinds of music, funk and rock and country and heavy metal. I mean, hard rock and heavy metal was pop punk, all that kind of stuff has always been a big influence on me. Just when I sing, country comes out usually. So that was the thing that made the most sense for me. And then, pretty early on, I figured out, hey, if I do this, I can make a little bit of money. People want to pay to hear me do this. And so I'd start playing bar gigs and stuff like that. And I think, very early on, I knew, like, all right, at first it was baseball. I really loved playing baseball, and I was pretty good at it. But, it was definitely just a dream. Music was definitely my future. I'm addicted to it, man. It's like a drug. I can't do anything else, or don't want to do anything else. Besides being a father and a husband, country singer is the other part of my identity,
It's now time for musician questions for a musician. Are you ready?
I'm ready. I was born ready, brother.
What's
I don't know. Maybe I'm not. What's up, buddy?
What's your songwriting process like? Are you a lyrics first, a melodies first? Give us the process.
That's a great question. I love talking about this. I love songwriting. I'd say my process is definitely more random, more conversational. I'll be talking to somebody, a friend or somebody I just met, and they'll say something catchy, something that sticks in my ear, and I'll be like, "What'd you just say?" And I'll say, "Oh, it's I got to write that. It sounds like the title of a song." And a lot of songwriters do that. But then I think they don't write it down. I always remember I've been in the most inappropriate situations, like meetings with executives, and they'll say something, and I'll go, "Can you just hold on one sec?" And I'll write it down real fast. And so I'm definitely a hook guy. I always like to throw out the idea of the song and say, "Hey, let's write something about this." I also, this may be taboo, but I will hear a song that I really love. I'm a big Ronnie Milsap fan. I've been listening to a lot of Ronnie Milsap songs lately, and I'll hear a record of his that I really, really love, and I would say, I would really love to write a song with this same vibe, this same feeling, totally something new, but something like this that reminds me of this groove or this bass line or whatever. And I've been doing that a lot lately. I always like to say, let's almost let me write my own version of this groove or this feel. I'm not really a super lyricist. I would say every now and then I'll have a bright idea, but there's so many poets who just can spin a yarn. But I'm good with melodies. I'm really good at, hey, how do we take this okay line you sang? Because I look at things from the perspective of an entertainer. You know, how is this going to hit an audience? How is this going to get the crowd dancing? Because I come from the clubs, I come from the bars, and I come from the little beach bars where you're dancing, you get people dancing, you try to ring that register, you try to make that bar some money, as well as make yourself some money. How do we get these people up out of their seats? How do we get them moving? I'm a student of that. You know, most of my favorite artists were guys that like to rock.
We are back with Trey Calloway, today's Country Climb Star of the Week. And Trey, it's my favorite part of our Country Climb interview because we get to play some new country music from you. This one is your latest single. It's called Must Have Had a Good Time. Tell us the story behind the song and how it came together.
So this album I'm working on is my first album that has some outside cuts. And for those of you out there listening that might not know what an outside cut means, an outside cut means a song you didn't write. And up until now, and I think I had put out 45 songs, and I'd written them all, most of them written by myself. And then this Wanted Man album last year was a lot of co-writing. But you know, I've always believed that the best song should win, you know, and so my buddies, Anthony Smith, that wrote Tomorrow for Chris Young, and Chris Young himself, and a fella named Frank Myers, and they're all legends, but Frank Myers wrote I Swear for John Michael Montgomery. They wrote this song. It's called Must Have Had a Good Time. And I was over at Anthony's house one day hanging out with him, and he played me the demo that had Chris Young's vocal on it. It was so super surreal. And I said, man, this is a great song. I said, you know, it's sad that it never got to see the light of day. I think at the time a song with the word good time had come out, and so Chris just never got around to doing a version of it. And he said, well, man, if you want to cut it. So we got all the red tape out of the way and did the thing, and I cut the song, and then we made a music video for it. And this song is really fun to play live. The band and I played it every night, and you can see people, you know, because sometimes people hear you got a new song and they go, oh, but then about the first verse and chorus in, they're like, okay, it's a good song. And then by the third verse, they're singing along with you. Everybody has a night that they wish they could remember but can't, and that's what this song is about. Must have had a good time.
I love this song, and it's an honor to play it here on Q Country 92.5. Here is Trey Calloway with his new song, Must Have Had a Good Time.
Woke up on my couch again, bed still made, it ain't been slept in. I can't find my clothes or my keys. There ain't no truck parked in my drive, I guess I cabbed it home last night. Looks like my friends and I got on the whiskey. I must have had a good time last night. Gotta clear the cobwebs from my mind. Opened up his bloodshot red eyes, and it felt like a jackhammer pounding my head. Where did this tattoo come from? I can't remember one thing I've done, but judging by the bar receipt I just found from last night, I must have had a good time. We went downtown to hear some blues, was just gonna have us a beer or two. Then Tony ordered all of us a shot on me. It all went downhill from there. Those Jaeger bombs and a smoky air sure did a number on my memory. I must have had a good time last night. Gotta clear the cobweb from my mind. Opened up his bloodshot red eyes, and it felt like a jackhammer pounding my head. Where did this tattoo come from? I can't remember one thing I've done, but judging by the bar receipt I just found from last night, yeah, we must have had a good time. I'm gonna have to find my phone, call my buddy for a ride. No, I don't remember, but Must have had a good time last night. Gotta clear the cobwebs from my mind. Opened up his bloodshot red eyes and it felt like a jackhammer pounding my head. Where did this tattoo come from? I can't remember one thing I've done, but judging by the bar receipt and the photos I got and all the photos on my phone we took last night, must have had a good time.
That is Trey Calloway with his new song, Must Have Had a Good Time, on Q Country 92.5. And if you love that song, you're going to love the music video. Make sure you check that out. And make sure you download Trey Calloway's new song, Must Have Had a Good Time. If people are just hearing you for the first time, we know Must Have Been a Good Time is one they need to listen to. What are two or three other tracks of yours that you would recommend people listen to if they really want to get to know Trey Calloway?
She Don't Break It, and She Misses Being Mrs. And I'll also do a shameless self-plug of the album I did last year, Wanted Man. Go check out that whole album. Wanted Man is something I'm really proud of. It was my first album I cut that I had a lot of hand in kind of co-producing and had a lot of say in what it sounded like, and it really turned out good. So
anywhere you listen and stream music, make sure you find Trey Calloway Music, Calloway. He's got so much music that you could just listen to, and it's great music. Make sure you follow him on all socials as well at Trey Calloway Music. And anything new, you have a new song coming out, and hopefully we can have you back on and hear that one.
Anytime, brother. I'm working on a tour for next year. That's the big thing we're kind of excited about. And, taking a lot of meetings, just trying to find my way through this crazy town. But I love it. I don't want to be anywhere else. I'm addicted to the music business, man. It's really where I feel at home. I love this town, but I'm ready to get out on the road and come to Arizona and play some shows. That'd be fun.
Heck yeah, we got to make that happen. Trey Calloway Music,
let's do it.
Thank you so much for being today's Country Climb Star of the Week.
Thanks, Chris.